We're live.
Yay!
Yay! Hello, viewers. Welcome to. Oh, we got it.
Oh yeah.
It's gonna play us back like 2 seconds.
Oh, that's fun.
Late once it starts. And there we are. We are doing a live stream to commentary on recently released The Rise of the Dead, which you should all watch if you haven't already, because hello, Oak99.
Hello.
It's so weird because it's like late and looking at the screen.
But then we can't see the comments.
Then we can't see the comments. Okay, you're right.
It's okay.
All right, let's, for those, it should be showing the number of viewers here, but it's not.
Yeah. It shows right there.
It does say we're watching now, but I think that one counts us. So we're just
talking to ourselves.
We're just talking to ourselves and Oak99. He's a cool guy, though.
Hey, Oak99. Thanks for watching. Thanks for tuning in. Hope you loved. What was let us know your favorite part of Rise of the Dead.
Yes, let us know your favorite. He left me a big in-depth review, and I really appreciate it.
Oh, cool! In the comments.
No, like he sent me an Instagram DM.
Ooh,
we're cool. We're friends.
Yeah.
All right, we're gonna start watching it, and I hope that it'll switch screens soon. So that first shot is a reference to the first Rise of the Dead, which also randomly starts on a TV. That's it.
That's all. You know, the classic alarm shot, or alarm clock opening shot.
Yes, that is actually another reference right there to the zombie film that we ripped off in the first Rise of the Dead, where I just used a snippet of music from that. So it's like a little apology.
Cool.
Yeah.
Jack actually counted out all of the days and did all the tally marks on that.
I did. It was a rough estimate. It was 6-ish years. I just like did some raw calculations on the calculator app.
Oak99 says, "You're welcome for the review. It's the least I can do as a fellow movie enthusiast."
Thank you. Yes, this shot with the honey was actually the worst of the 2 takes that we got. I forget what it was that you messed up on here, but the other one I messed up on with the focus, so I ended up using the first bad take, but I cut around it in a way that we didn't notice your mistake. Yeah. So that's
don't know what
that's
mistake
good.
I made, but I'm sure they were abundant.
Yes, it should be alternating between screens. I don't know why it's not. Do I click on it? Oh, okay. So cool. I see. I can like toggle. Oh, that's cool. Okay. John, I texted him. I told him be there 10 minutes early for our 10 o'clock start time. I get a text from him at 10:15 saying, "Sorry, I overslept."
Oh yeah.
And he came in and he didn't know any of his lines, which I counted on that because he's a good guy, but he's. I'm not even saying he's a bad actor. He's just not an actor. Yeah. He's just my friend who was in the first Rise of the Dead, and I put him in this one.
Oh, that shirt was so problematic. It looked really good.
Oh yeah, I forgot about that. Do you want to tell them what happened?
Sure. I don't know the gory details. Pun intended.
It just kind of got stuck. It like folded inwards. It was like I folded up. That was chocolate syrup with red food coloring, and it like stuck together.
Yeah, like you had it laid out on the floor and made it.
And then my mom folded it in half, and then it stuck, and we had to take scissors and just slice it through. So it had all these rips in it, so it made it look even more tattered.
Yeah, but like that worked.
But yeah, it worked
for the vibe of the film.
For the vibe of the film.
Could also been attacked that way. But so in the end, we never actually got it unstuck. So the shirt was just extremely tight because like half of it was a big shirt on. He's together.
It's also just so surreal because he was always like the short one in our movies, and he like towers over you now because it's been 6 years since you've seen him. Oh, this shot was not in the script. I put it in there to fix a continuity error because at the end of the movie the honey was open and randomly.
Yeah.
Or I forget what it was, but exactly.
Or it was like sort of unscrewed.
Yeah, sort of unscrewed.
Zombie with not good motor skills.
So we put that in there. Do you want to tell the story with that shot?
Wait, which one? The
lava. How I thought I could just swing it around, and then it Annika had to climb into the river. I tried getting it, but I couldn't. I tried reaching around, and without me even asking, Annika just. Oh, Annika, you have a fan.
Oh, Lego Story Workshop.
Ramsey, he is just amazing.
Oh,
both
I like that shot.
Oh, yeah, it's out of focus though, which I don't think anybody noticed, but it really bugged me because it had the potential to be great, but it's like it looked fine, camera. But thank you, Ramsey.
Yeah, thanks.
Oh, and you finished watching it. That's good. He watched. He's a bigger YouTuber than I am, and he watched part of the movie on his live stream recently. He watched the first minute, so he gave you a little shout out. But this shot was also out of focus.
Oh no!
And I hated it, but just because of the way it was cut, we had to use it.
Yeah.
And it looks really bad. It looks super choppy right now.
You can say everything.
I promise it looked better. It's like it looked better on the once you actually watch it back. Oh.
You can say everything's an artistic choice.
Yes.
Right, you know, like it's out of focus because her mind is out of focus.
Sure.
She's so frazzled by the events, and you know.
This is real footage of Alyssa. That was from her Sweet 16, which I was at. I did not take that video, but yeah, we're Alyssa, John, and Alyssa, Ryan, and John are all close friends of mine, and Annika was like a total stranger that I roped into doing this. I think you're my friend now, but I just mean like at the time that we started. Yeah. At the time that we started,
we did a like totally different other film together.
Yes, I played her abusive boyfriend, and
I have a lot of those in films. It's fun.
Yeah, and I went and saw Annika in High School Musical. She played Sharpay with Alyssa, and she did an amazing job. And this is a testament to your talent. But I have to admit, when I was sitting there watching this, I was just thinking like, this is really the person that I have in my zombie movie. Where it's just such a stark contrast, and like you did it well both ways, but it was just like I was like, what am I doing here?
Yeah, it's crazy. Thanks so much. I love this type of acting though so much. Like not playing the over the top character, but like how would I feel? You know, because Annika isn't a previously established character. So it's like, how would I feel?
There really isn't
6 years stuck in a house with no one to talk to and running from zombies every day.
I feel like this is a really untapped medium. The whole idea of this, I guess, you having the actors kind of workshop like keep the character name and just this weird alternate reality where people. I mean, I'm
playing myself.
You're playing exactly
as opposed to a character.
And the thing is, since I didn't really know much about Annika, I kind of just let her do her own thing, pretty much. That was the last shot I think that we did, with the one where it's just you looking into the camera. Basically, Alyssa was late, or like had to leave early on both of the days that she was there. So pretty much every shot that Annika's in that Alyssa's not in was filmed like on either a totally different hour or a totally different day.
Yeah.
So, so yeah, I love how that acts as rubber, and I asked Alyssa's permission to throw it at her because I didn't think it would hurt, but I tested it on myself and it didn't. You even missed to it, like barely even touched her, so I think she's okay with it.
Yeah, I missed a lot. It's
okay.
Sports aren't my strong suit.
No, you're not alone. I think, Alyssa is like an actual. Well, I'll more on that later when you see. Well, I'll get back to that. We shot this panic attack from a bunch of different angles that that were not all used. I thought it was much more powerful just using the two main angles, just like uninterrupted, but. it was super crazy that just for like 20 minutes, it was
I just had to have panic attack over and over.
In my backyard.
Yeah, we're scared people would think someone was like getting murdered over in your backyard at like 2 p.m. on a Saturday.
Yes.
But it was a good time.
This shot is weird, but it was the only thing that we had to end.
I kind of like it.
But yeah, it was.
It's all like disorienting.
We'll say that it's yeah.
Yeah, this was an interesting, I don't know, thing to, I don't know, like create so much emotion for. Because I usually do like theater and that kind of stuff, and so that you have like the entire emotional journey just like plotted out for you, and you do each thing once, and over the course of 2 hours just build your emotionality and character. But it's so interesting to have to start a take in one emotional place and then arrive in another, but repeat it like
it's and especially with this scene where like with the shots were actually no, this one I think was fine because it was you were both together. But yeah,
when you shoot like different parts on different days.
Yeah, this take, this monologue, Alyssa kept messing up, and like
I did too, a little bit.
I know you, but my point was, she texted me like 5 days before we started shooting with her, just to say where's the script. And I sent it to her a month ago, but I guess she didn't read it. So she had like, she memorized all of this in like 5 days. So it's really impressive, all things considered, that she had it as well as she did. So there's no hard feelings.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like I remember after doing this scene, I realized that I would have done the, because we filmed me walking into the house like after this scene, where I'm like, well, I have to in the morning of that day.
Yeah, that was the one time that the lighting looked, it looked totally fine, I think. Yeah.
Well, I was like, we should probably reshoot it because of the lighting, because it was the morning.
Yeah, that was a big point of contention with you.
But actually, it was because I realized that I said it like I would have said it differently, like now having done this scene.
Yeah,
that happened. But it turned out it didn't turn out to
no, it
wasn't
it wasn't bad. It was just your delivery was just it wasn't what I would have expected. So I kind of to your point. But
it was like angry.
These long extended shots are a reference to my favorite Marvel movie, Spider-Man 3, and Alyssa is a Tom Holland fangirl stan. Yes. So she was not happy when I mentioned that was my inspiration.
Why would she not be happy?
She's like, did you hear her say like, I can walk out, when she was kidding, I think. But yeah, I really like the shot, which is why I made it the thumbnail, even though I didn't want to show Alyssa as a human in any of the promotional material of the thumbnail, but it was just too cool to.
Yeah, I like it when the person talking is in the background and the foreground is the reaction.
Yeah, with the. Oh, and then
that was such a hard shot because the sun was in my eyes.
Oh, I didn't even know that. Well, it looked basically. I realized with the special effects that I have, and I didn't even think this through, but that I tried giving Alyssa the red eyes too, but it's something about your bright blue eyes in that lighting was the only thing that would have worked. So even like in the later scenes, it didn't work. That was just the one time we just got super lucky, and it worked out. I didn't even notice that you had blue eyes because they look brown in the darker.
Rude.
Oh, I'm sorry.
No, yeah, they're not like light blue. They're like.
They look like blue in that shot. Okay, I don't know my colors.
No, they're like light blue when you have sunlight in them.
This is the shot Annika was. I get your names mixed up because
it sounds
like the same. I think the same number of syllables.
Annika.
Yeah.
And they both end and start with A.
Exactly. It was super. I did not. When I wrote this script, I was writing the script like right when I met Annika, and I was like, she's perfect for like this main. Actually, no. I originally had you in mind for the zombie character. And I don't know if I told you that, and I was gonna have John be the main focus, but then I realized that John. I'm not saying he can't carry a movie. He just wouldn't
but he's
want
not
to.
An actor,
he just would not want to. So I was like, all right, I guess I already have the talent, so I'll just shuffle it around a little bit. And then the zombie was just kind of a blank slate for a while. And then when I worked with Alyssa on the other thing that she was in, I was like, hey, you should do this. And she did.
But I think you were going to talk about Alyssa's.
Oh
yeah.
She's and don't quote me. I think it's called. You would call it competitive cheerleading. I believe she's like super into that sort of thing. She has awards. I don't know the world of. She's like super good at it. So I was like, hey, you should just do a cool kick or something. And it doesn't make any sense for the character. I just thought it would. I just thought it would look cool. With the
maybe zombies have ninja powers too.
That was actually a concept for one of the, because I wrote like 12 drafts of Rise of the Dead 3 over many years, and in one there's going to be like a super like hyper powered zombie that could do like karate and stuff. So that was like one concept that kind of made it back.
Yeah. Oh yeah, I shot all this without Alyssa there.
Right.
As well.
So like there was nothing. They were shot. This was shot like the beginning and then the end of day 2. So but yeah, originally I was gonna have like super dramatic music playing, but I felt that it was actually better with just this uncomfortable silence with them just staring at each other. But yeah, I wasn't going to use this shot originally, but I didn't even tell her to do that, I don't think, but she just kind of puts her hand on your shoulder. And I really love messing with my mom when we watch this, and she's like, wait, did Annika die when she picked the thing up? And I was like, well, I don't know, Mom. Why don't you tell me?
Yeah, I had to ask you as well.
Yes,
like, what actually happens?
It's a very confusing ending, but I like messing with people.
Pretty much. Yeah, I mean, I think it's supposed to be that way. Like, it's almost asking you, what did you assume?
Exactly.
And what does that say about you? And
your
totally.
Values
in this kind of situation.
And I loved when Rian showed up, and he does not know Alyssa whatsoever. So I just told them, just kind of improvise off each other, just like improvise a reunion. And what we got was so hilariously awkward, but it's just amazing. And I used it without sound, and it worked, and it worked pretty well.
That's me.
That's on, yes, with
that's such a cool last name.
Manfredonia, yeah.
Manfredonia.
Yeah, when so I made this. Oh, actually, do you want to talk about how you recruited Allie and Evelyn?
Oh yeah. Of what? Of group chats. I was like, hey, anyone who wants to play a zombie, please come.
Right, but I meant in particular, the day before we started shooting, I met with you.
Oh yeah.
At a burger restaurant, and Allie sold us the burgers.
Yeah.
We were just like, hey, do you want to be the zombie?
We were in drama club together at school, but yeah, she was just like, yeah, we just asked, and she was there because we were talking for like a couple hours, and she kept kind of coming in. I don't think you ever got your fries from her. But
yeah, it was a whole thing where like I ordered my food and
yeah,
I just didn't get it. But
and so we invited her, and then I asked my other friends. I asked a whole friend group, but only one could show up because it was kind of last minute. And then your two sisters.
And then my two sisters, yeah.
But it ended up, I don't know, feeling like more intimate, kind of.
Yeah, no, I was originally gonna have like my goal is to have like a dozen zombies in that scene, but then we got what we got, but I thought it worked out really well. But I was gonna say I just loved at that meeting where I'm like, I barely knew you at that point, but you just come with your Sharpay notebook to take notes off what I had to say. That was like super. I felt like I was like, as a director, that was like the most flattering thing. I felt so important.
Oh yeah, to come with my notebook.
To come with your notebook, like, I feel like a real director now.
Let's discuss character.
And I was just kind of. It was a lot of what do you think, because I just wanted to make sure that this was gonna work, because you were a stranger. You were a new actor. Yes. I usually like casting people that I know super well, but it was just nice to kind of go out on a limb, and that's what I'm gonna have to do in the real world. Yeah.
You'll know them. Yeah, I mean, you kind of did exactly what you do in the real world, right? It's
Yeah,
just,
no,
like,
definitely.
make connections and be like, hey, be in my thing next time.
That's what's kind of happened to me. I'm in a movie with her boyfriend.
Yeah.
Right now, I'm gonna ask to see if he'll let me put that on the channel. I don't know. I don't want to steal traffic from him or anything, but if he's like cool with it, I'll post that for you guys because it's.
Yeah. Do you have a JTH Studios website?
Kinda.
Because like you could be like acting, like me acting, and then have that, and then it
links
to his channel,
that's a good.
So it doesn't steal traffic.
Oh, I should show you. I have. I have a website that I made that's like super cheesy, and then I also have a wiki where I have I made a page for your character that I'll show you.
Oh really? That's because, amazing. Wait, it's not like Wikipedia. Like you have your own.
I have like my own. You can like make a wiki, so it's like. So yeah, like it's like super. I just write. I'll go like years without posting. I made it when I was like 12 or something. And I'll go years without posting stuff, and then I'll just I went on a whole binge where I just made a page for everything Rise of the Dead related leading up to this because I didn't want to jump into my next project yet. But I just had this waiting period because I made this movie for my senior project at school, and. Just in presenting it to them, it was, I don't know if they just didn't get the ending or all their questions were just like, they just wanted to know about all like the behind the scenes drama and not actual stuff related to the plot. So I think if you want to, I was going to talk, give a whole big explanation for the ending, but you can look in the comments of the main video if you want to see that because I've already typed it out a bunch of times.
Oh, cool. Yeah. Huh.
But yeah, if anyone's still,
ever thought about pitching your ideas to a professional
writer? That's what I hope to do with my life, but not right now. I'm 18, so I'm college is what I'm working on right now. But eventually, yeah, I will. I hope to pitch my ideas.
And so you'd want to direct and shoot, or would you want to?
See, I think it's weird because I think I definitely love acting the best, but I feel like I don't. I'm trying to think of the least self-deprecating way to say it, but I feel like it's a much harder industry, and I feel like there's more money to be made behind.
Yeah, no, that makes sense.
So
so it's a harder field to get into.
But this was, depending on how you look at it, this was, my 100th film.
That's cool.
And
so you have a good
right, and ever since I started and it's been less and less, but I've appeared in every single one of them in some capacity. In this case, I don't even know if you noticed, but during one of your panic attacks, I just threw in a little voice recording of me saying you failed.
Oh, cool.
So that's in there. So I'm in this too, just reprising. We actually shot a cameo for my character from the other movies, but I ended up not using it because it didn't make any sense.
Makes sense.
So yeah, if there are any more questions, we can.
Did you get any on the
Instagram thing? Yeah, we actually we did. I screenshotted it just because I knew this would happen.
Yeah.
That I would forget about it.
That's good.
This is a good one. How did I manage the production schedule? This is from Darth Coco, Oak99. He changed his name.
Oh, cool.
How do you manage your production schedule? Does it go as planned, or do you have to improvise sometimes?
When a lot of people aren't actors.
I made this whole shot list, and all 3 days we had to scrap all of it, especially because it was supposed to be 2 days. And then we went so overtime that there was an entire third separate day. And I felt so bad because I had both my lead actors agree to do 2 days. And then I had to ask, I'm sorry, we're not going to finish it in 2 days. It's going to come for a third day.
That's better than staying till 11.
But yeah, that was probably, we were running out of sunlight too, where you probably noticed that there was a drastic change in lighting. We had to reshoot the ending of the fight between Annika and Alyssa just because it looked terrible. So
Yeah.
So yeah, that was terrible. And
yeah. So like with John being oversleeping, we had to like completely kind of rearrange. You essentially made the second half of the day the first half of the day.
Yeah.
But we kept like because we weren't sure when he was going to show up. So we were like, do we have time to set up a whole nother scene and film it?
Right. And we kept going back and forth and jumping from
minutes,
thing. Yeah. It was such a mess. It was a complete, but no, we love John. He's amazing.
Yes.
And shout out to Alyssa. She lives like, I mean, I don't know. I don't remember exactly how far, depending on how you go, but she lives like 35, 45 minutes away, and she had to commute basically to get to this.
After an ACT. Too.
After she took Christy, and it was just like, good for, that was, I mean, we all go to different schools, by the way, mostly. But actually, I meant to say earlier that among that, I made another cameo technically because I took Alyssa to my junior prom, and our prom picture is part of the flashback, but it wouldn't make any sense for me to be in it, so I cropped my face out of it, so it's just another. It's not supposed to be me in universe. Yeah. But that was me.
Oh yeah, because I'm supposed to have never.
Right.
There should be overlap between their worlds, because otherwise.
Right, because everyone
I know died.
Right, so I don't have a whole backstory worked out for Alyssa's character, but I'm just assuming based off like her living a normal life at that age, she was probably infected early on in the apocalypse, and she just stopped aging for the 6 years. So I would have been 12 at the time that picture was taken, so it couldn't have been me.
That makes sense. Yeah, because I guess zombies wouldn't age because they're undead.
Right, yeah. That's something I wanted to explore. There's so much stuff that I wanted to explore more, but it was just like, there's lots of, I used to make, my goal was to make my films as big and long as possible, but now I'm kind of focusing on smaller, more personal stuff like this.
Yeah, there's a lot you can do in
definitely.
A short amount of time. It doesn't overstay its welcome.
Yes, which the other Rise of the Deads definitely did. And the last question is, how would you describe your directing experience? It was definitely really educational, I guess, that I had to learn to adapt a lot and really learn to, I don't know, kind of connect with the actors in a way that I could both say what I wanted and also kind of encourage them to grow, which I'd kind of just, I'm not the most outspoken person, and in the past it's just been a lot of kind of, do whatever you want.
Yeah.
And, it was good to kind of step into a more authoritative
Yeah, you
role.
were good at it. Like there was a part where I had to like put the antidote in a box, right? And I was like having this whole emotional journey through it, and and it was like, and you were like, yeah, no, we just need you to put it in the box. Like that's what was inside your mind, but the way you said it was like you're just doing it too well.
Yeah, I meant
like you're acting it too well, and it just we can't have that emotional punch so soon.
It seemed just because
I was like, okay, so stop overacting.
Right, because we shot. There was like a week break between the first 2 days and like a month break between the second day and the third day. So I had I had like a rough cut by the time, and just in context, like your acting was really good. It just seemed like too much for the moment. Just in context, it seemed fine at the time. So we reshot that the second day where, I didn't even mention that I tried to book several locations to shoot this in, and it went horribly. So I had this written for a completely different location, and I had to.
Objections to the content.
Yeah, there were some people who were a little freaked out by it was probably the worst 2 places that we could have shot this at was my church. They weren't too happy. Actually, they were fine with the zombies. It was just the timing. But then there was a senior center. Is that, I'm trying to remember what's like I don't want to say I remember there's like a politically correct term and then a politically incorrect term.
Yeah,
I'm trying to remember. Senior center is the right one. Okay.
Yeah.
Senior living center, where like my mom like reached out on Facebook and it's like, does anybody like would let's shoot the movie? And they were like super nice. They're like, yeah, you can use it for as many days as you want. But then when I mentioned the zombies, they're like, yeah, we can't have that around the elderly. They might get freaked out.
Oh, no.
But yeah, I think it worked out for the best that we shot it in my house because we could tie it back into the original movies where it was like, this is the original house from the original movies. And we also
like I've been living
so over time we would have been we couldn't have been able to get the location for a third day probably because the agreement was 2 days and my mom is not going to evict us.
Wow, yeah, that was lucky.
Yeah, so it was probably for the best that worked out the way it did.
Mm-hmm. Perfect.
Okay, so I'm trying to think if there's
any other questions or
any words of wisdom for the audience.
Oh, in future zombie filmmaking endeavors. I don't know. I thought it was really interesting that we weren't just. So I don't know. Often, like as an actor, right? You get your script and you analyze it from there, and you just kind of honor whatever story is on the page without kind of thinking about much else. But it was interesting, kind of being part of like the creative process of this. Like you wrote the film, but like you emphasized like the fact that we're honoring a sort of genre, which is the genre of like homemade zombie movies, made by like 9 to 12-year-olds in their backyards, which I actually was when I was, I think 11, was part of a full like 30-minute long zombie movie called Zombified. That's like the exact same type. So it was really interesting to
set to pumped up kicks of all things.
Yes. It was amazing. I did not have it was like
horribly tasteless. Like, but
it was amazing. But yeah, so just like it was interesting to not just be kind of interpreting the story realistically, but also have to that like responsibility of like paying homage to that genre that means a lot to a lot of people. And
that was
defined a lot of people's experience in a certain
set me
time
on
of life.
this
It defined
path.
my experience.
But yeah, no, that was.
So cool.
No, thank you for. More people will watch this non-live.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, trust me. This was a weird time. I usually do it at night, but you can see Annika in Justice League 5. She's going to do the voice of Wonder Woman.
Oh, cool.
I think I told you. I don't think I told you the part. I just told you were going to be. But yeah,
I love Wonder Woman.
Oh, cool. I figured. I know you said you weren't like a superhero.
I don't like action movies, but I like the emotional depth of like Marvel movies and like Wonder Woman's DC. I know Wonder Woman's DC, but like I like the emotional depth of Marvel movies, and I liked Wonder Woman. Like,
and you liked Wonder Woman. Okay.
Yeah, and I liked Wonder Woman. I don't watch a lot of other DC stuff. Sorry.
I know it's okay, but a bunch of 11-year-old boys just gonna jump on you in the comments.
No.
Wonder Woman's
DC.
Wonder
Woman's DC,
and
I respect DC. But I don't watch a lot of superhero movies, and the ones I have watched that I've connected to are.
Okay, but there's a question for you.
Yeah.
In the chat.
Annika, who's your favorite actor? Ooh, wait, that's such a good question. I like it. Thanks, Oak99. I really, I have a couple people. I'm inspired by a lot of different people, like at different points of my life, and the inspiration lasts like a while. The most recent female actor that really inspired me was Katrina Lenk. She's a Broadway actress in what is it called? The Band's Visit on Broadway. I saw her, and she's just so phenomenally powerful in like her stillness. She does so little, kind of, but so like just the intensity of her stare and the intensity of every movement. she makes everything that she does so powerful and mean so much, right? So like there are actors, myself included, a lot of the time. So it's really inspired me, who do a lot, and so it do a lot to try and do justice and capture everything. But then the audience often doesn't catch it all, or it's just overwhelming. But she has like the audience just hooked on every single like movement of her pinky finger, you know? So I thought that was really powerful, and that inspired me in my next screen acting performances, definitely, because you really have to tone it down for the screen because the camera could capture so much more, but also for upcoming acting roles on stage. And then male actor who I've loved for years is Andrew Scott, who, I don't know if you watched BBC Sherlock.
I'm familiar with it.
Yeah,
I haven't seen it.
He plays Moriarty, Professor Moriarty in BBC Sherlock, and it's just such a brilliant reinvention of that character, because Moriarty was kind of in the Conan Doyle stories. He was the like typical kind of archetype of the like mustache twirling villain, you know? Like Arthur Conan Doyle kind of invented that like around that time. But at this point, it's so overused that it just wouldn't have been effective in a brilliant remake of the stories such as BBC Sherlock. So we just completely took the character a different way that's kind of boyish, and he's small and he has like bright eyes and like a devilish smirk. And every line that he says in terms of inflection and the emotionality that he can bring into it always surprises me every single time. So sometimes I love to watch his work and read the script before, and then kind of see how I would imagine it. And he always says every single line completely differently from what I would have imagined. And imbues the scene. And like imbues the scene with stuff that with like emotion and intentions that are completely different, like that I didn't even pick up on. So he's just an incredibly creative actor. So yeah, those two inspire me a lot.
That's well said. Annika, Alyssa, and I are all like big theater people. I have no idea who the first person you said is. I'm not, maybe not as big as.
Yeah, the band's visit closed now, but it's so good. I'll show you a picture.
Okay.
I cried after seeing the band's visit. It's such a powerful work of art. It deserved the Tony so much. She looked like that.
She looks familiar. Yeah, I think I've.
I don't know if I can see it on there, but
a little bit.
She has very high cheekbones and very. She's just like a very tall, powerful presence. She kind of looks like the one who plays Wonder Woman.
A little bit, yeah. I can kind of see it.
Who I love and who is part of the DC universe, not the Marvel universe.
Not the Marvel. Yes, it's I'm used to having 11-year-old boys jump on me in the comics in the comments for messing something up like that. It's like, oh, what director do I take inspiration from? Ooh, well, on a very, it's probably not the most profound answer, but on like a very, I guess, on a very basic level, Forest Fire 101, Forrest Whaley, he made Zombie Universe, which directly inspired The Rise of the Dead, to the point where I blatantly, it was a complete, like almost like there were entire scenes that were like line for line ripoffs, joke for joke. This one was completely original though, so now I just pay homage to his style. My favorite director though is Tim Burton. Definitely, I love Tim Burton.
Stuff freaks me. It's mostly the art though that freaks me out.
Yeah, no, I love his art style, and also like I said, the I'm just gonna go on a whole list. Also, like I said, the I don't know, I haven't seen Sam Raimi's whole library, but I love his Spider-Man trilogy so much, and that stuff, especially now, just kind of, he sort of humanizes these big epic stories, and that's kind of been my new motto for creating things. And
Yeah, it's kind of what you did with Rise of the Dead.
It's kind of Rise of the Dead.
Made it a character piece.
You're gonna hate this, but for right now, another director, my last director I'll give a shout out to, who's a big inspiration for me, is Rian Johnson for The Last Jedi, which I know that Oak 99 despises.
Oh no!
But Justice League 5 in particular is, you definitely see there's definitely some parallels. You can see, like, I wrote the script I wrote the final draft of the script shortly after seeing The Last Jedi, and yeah. But hopefully you will still like Justice League. There's no cantina subplot or casino subplot, or there's no Holdo equivalent or anything like that. It's just like the kind of the twists. There are lots of twists. That's all I'll say. Maybe I'm gonna lose. Well, it's okay. You're already in the movie, man. I'm not taking you out. But okay, thank you for your questions. If you have any more, you can leave them or.
My favorite director is Rob Reiner.
I'm familiar with him. I don't think I've seen a lot of movies.
Princess Bride.
Oh, okay.
Stand by Me.
I've seen both of those.
Sally. I think Stand by Me. Yeah. Oh, what's it called? Flipped. I love him.
Yes,
anyway.
I didn't realize he did those,
yeah.
But yeah, Stand By Me is awesome.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Yeah, he's.
As an actor, I like stuff that's character centric.
Oh, believe me, I'm both. So yeah.
Right. But yeah, it's cool. I was reading something the other day about how like that is because the Academy is like disproportionately made up of actors. Like that's why character pieces like always
it's always
win the Oscars and stuff. I thought that was interesting. Don't worry, dude, I won't quit. It's okay if we have different points of view.
That's a mature tone to take. I don't know if I know you're not a Star Wars fan. But I don't know how you familiar are with like The Last Jedi is like the most. It's turned into such a like political debate somehow.
Oh no.
So like it's like expressing your thoughts on that movie to some people is like attacking their politics. It's super weird. I don't know how it happened.
Mm-hmm. We need more people like Oak 99.
Yes, you're a good guy. But yeah, you're the only one watching, so if you have any more questions, we'll take them. But if not, we'll end the stream now, and I'll show Annika her Wikipedia page.
Yeah.
It's like written. I wrote it like it's like super professional and written in the third person, like Wikipedia.
Oh, that's cool.
Often is.
I did a thing. So.
You did a thing.
I did a thing like that, so I could know when you had said ask more questions. So now you've done it.
Oh, okay.
So now Oak 99 has seen it.
Okay, so well, in that case, probably gonna end now. Thank you for everybody watching this. Probably later. I'm gonna guess that people probably stopped watching after the movie ended. That's okay. So. I'm sorry, man. I showed honestly the only Disney Star Wars movie that I think The Force Awakens is fine. I'm not the biggest fan of Rogue One. I adore The Last Jedi, and I think Solo is also fine. There's some stuff about Disney that I don't know, but in general, I personally like that direction, but it's perfectly fine if you don't.
I fell asleep like 8 times during Rogue One.
Yeah, I don't know.
Like I was there for 9 hours.
It's okay. It's just like, you know how you said, like, as actors, we appreciate character-driven stories. That is not a character-driven story.
Yeah, it was like an hour of action sequences, and
it's
I just fall
people
asleep.
Blowing each other up, but I don't care.
I just fall asleep during action sequences. I'm sorry.
Yeah, there's only in this zombie movie. There's only about 3 minutes of zombie action out of the 17-minute runtime, which
it was fun to shoot the action.
But yeah,
I just don't like watching it.
It was very intense shooting the action. We were on like a tight time schedule because Alyssa had to leave.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I was just sad because I also do gymnastics, so I could.
Yeah, I would have.
So I was like, hey, I can kick this, and it was like, now we just want Ninja Zombie.
I was like, oh, if I wish I'd known that, because I would have like written that in the script. But like, that's why I asked during our meeting, like, do you have any quirks or whatever, like anything like that you can do? That's kind of what I was fishing at. But
yeah, sorry, I thought you meant like personality quirks.
That's
it's all good.
It's all good.
I like that it was Ninja Zombie.
Ninja Zombie.
She was just like the every girl, you know?
Exactly.
That's who I am.
All right. So thank you, and I think we're gonna end now.
Bye. Thanks for watching.
Thank you for people who have been with us on this stream and for the past 8 years.
Happy Father's Day.
And happy Father's Day. Don't do what we're doing. Go spend Father's Day with your parents.
Yeah.